I found a pocket watch which could stop time, and I regret finding it. Some say time is an illusion, just a concept made up by man. Well, let me tell you, they are wrong. Time is an illusion. It's very much real. Time is like a veil separating the past, the present, the future, and all of what's in between. Excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me introduce myself to you properly. My name is Bill Dyer, and let me tell you my story. It all started... I don't know anymore when it started. It might have been days, weeks, or even months. Well, it all started with this cursed pocket watch. I used to work part-time as a nurse in a retirement home. I won't tell you which home, or where though, because it would be too risky to tell. Well, I'm not even sure if someone is going to read this. Also, why am I even writing this? Probably because I miss human interaction. When I worked at the retirement home, I got very attached to one of the residents there. I can't tell you her name because it would be too easy to find out in which home she was placed. I'll say this about her. She was a very kind and loving old lady, but she was also very old. I had taken care of her for 4 years, and this lady never failed to brighten up my mood when I was feeling down. She told me many stories about her youth, and always gave me advice for any problem I had. As I said before, she was very old. She's almost 90 years old. Unfortunately, she passed away one night in her sleep. May God bless her soul. The doctors said she died peacefully in her sleep of natural causes. She had no family left, so my boss decided I should get some of her belongings, since she liked me very much. It's what she would have wanted, he said. She didn't have much besides some old books, some old pictures, and her clothes. When I was in her room, I felt sad, but the thought that she went peacefully had comforted me some. While I was looking through her books and some of her pictures, I found this antique-looking bronze pocket watch. On the front of it was a weird kind of symbol engraved in it. It looked like a moon. It almost looked ancient, but it was still working. She never showed or talked about the watch with me. That's what she would have wanted, I said to myself, and pushed it into my pocket. Besides the watch, I took her books and a photo of her too. She was like my grandmother, and I didn't want to forget her. The rest of her belongings I donated to charity. I wish I'd gotten rid of that watch too. Why, you might ask? I will get to that soon. Some days had passed, and I mourned her death for quite some time. I had just missed her being around me. In her memory, I kept the watch on me. Despite it being antique, it worked really well. It didn't take long till I noticed something weird and somewhat creepy quality of the watch. When it first happened, the watch fell out of my pocket while I was working. It got awfully quiet. Normally, you would hear someone rambling about their meds, or one of my coworkers running around, but nothing was there. I didn't think much of it, even though it unsettled me a little. As I left the room, it struck me. It was quiet, like time had come to a halt. Well, that was because it literally did come to a halt. I looked around, and everyone was frozen on what they were doing. At first, I thought they were playing some outlandish prank on me. I tried talking to one of my coworkers, but no response. No one responded. I went outside, and it was also the same outside as inside. The people in the vehicles were frozen in place. I was the only one who wasn't affected by it. This couldn't have been a prank. Something was wrong. Really wrong. When I turned to the clock tower next to the home, I noticed that even the clock had stopped. As I wandered around aimlessly, I saw that every clock had stopped working. Well, except for the one in my pocket. The ancient one was still ticking. Surely this was no coincidence. Then I remembered that the pocket watch had fell out of my pocket when time froze. I had to do something with the watch. After examining it, I noticed a small bulge on top of it. It looked like a button or something like that. I had no idea what it would do if I pressed it. My curiosity got the better of me and I pushed it. Suddenly, it all unfroze, and I heard the usual city noise again. There was no doubt I had just frozen at unfrozen time. I laughed in disbelief, but at the same time, I wasn't sure that this just happened. This seemed so surreal to me. Somehow this little pocket watch was able to bend the laws of space and time, and all I had to do was push a button. This clock meant endless possibilities. All the things I could do with it. Even in death, my dearest resident had failed to make me smile. This is what she would have wanted, I said to myself. It didn't take long until I started using my newfound power to do some shenanigans. I froze time whenever and wherever I wanted. Running late for work? No problem, just freeze time. Didn't get enough sleep? No problem, just freeze time. Want to procrastinate longer? No problem, just freeze the goddamn time. After abusing it for such minor things, I started doing it for bigger things like shoplifting or taking money from people. Hey, don't judge me. You would have done the same if you knew your actions wouldn't have any consequences. If you're saying you wouldn't, you're lying. Not to me, but to yourself. I never used it to do anything like killing someone or something. I just took things when I wanted. I quit my job because I didn't see any reason in working anymore. My profession now was being a Time Lord. The phrase "I got all the time in the world" wasn't just a phrase for me anymore. I literally had all the time. I lost any feeling of time because I hadn't bothered anymore. After every freeze, it took a few moments to unfreeze again. It was like a built-in cooldown or something. I had no idea where this watch came from or who made it. I didn't care, to be honest. All I cared about was that it was working. I could go on and tell you about how I froze time and moved things in people's homes just to mess with them and make them believe they were haunted, or how I placed and removed a monolith in Utah and made everyone believe it was aliens. You may have heard about that by now. Like I said, I could tell you all those stories, but that's not the point of me writing this. As I said, with every use of that watch, time would take a while when it turned on. And this brings me to my current situation. I had froze time again, and when I wanted to unfreeze it, it wouldn't work. You're probably wondering why I froze time in the first place. Well, this might sound idiotic and like a waste, but I had a pizza in the oven, and it was about to get burnt, so I did what every reasonable Time Lord would do, and froze time. Yes, I froze time to save my pizza. I don't know how long it will take to unfreeze, but the watch is still ticking, so I guess it'll be any minute soon. It has been 12 a.m. now for I don't know how long. I will try to get some sleep, and hopefully when I wake up, the world will start running again. Entry 2. I just woke up and nothing happened. This has never happened before, and I'm thinking I might have overused it. The pocket watch is still going, so it must be working, right? The constant daylight is starting to mess with my sleep. I've covered all of my windows in my room so it would get darker, so I'd have some sense of normality back. I'm also getting bored. I've already read every book I have and watched every show you can think of. I've never asked this myself, but did my grandma know this? She would have known about this, and she would have known what to do. I wish I could ask her. I would ask her so much about it. This realization comes a little bit too late, but maybe she didn't tell me about this because she knew it would be dangerous. I wonder how she even got this watch in the first place. Anyways, I'm getting claustrophobic in my own house. I'm gonna go for a walk in this ghost town. Entry 3. The city is full with people, yet it feels so lifeless. No motion, no sense of events passing. It's just everything is on pause. When I was walking, I could have sworn I had saw something move in the corner of my eye. It was like a yellow blur. But this couldn't be possible. I'm the only one who's not affected by the time freeze. Or am I? I feel like I'm losing my mind. I should have let that pizza burn. I should have just stopped using that stupid watch. No, I should have never used it to begin with. This watch corrupted me. Or I was already corrupt, and the watch only made me realize it. Fuck. I need to rest. I need to cool down. Entry 4. I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about that blur I saw earlier. Was it earlier, or was it a while ago? I don't fucking know anymore. If there is actually someone out there in time still, I need to find him. Whoever it was, maybe they can help me. I'm going outside again. I need fresh air. I need to find them. I don't even know who they are, but I need to find them. Entry 5. I went to the retirement home. I hadn't been there since I quit my job. The place still looks the same, yet it felt different. I don't know how to describe it. My mind is slowly giving up, but I try to hold it together. I went to Graham's room, but it was still empty. They hadn't moved someone new in there yet. Oh God, I wish she was there. I need some rest, but I can't sleep. I have to go outside again, soon. Entry 6. I went to Graham's room again and sat on her bed for a while, looking at her old photos, trying to figure out what she would have done. I couldn't, though. She wouldn't have never used it to this extent, or even at all in the first place. When I went outside again, I saw that blur, but this time it wasn't a blur, but a full-body apparition. In front of that clock tower, there was this figure dressed in yellow robes. That person wasn't there before, and I was certain of it. Maybe it was someone who wasn't affected by the time freeze. I ran toward that person, but they just disappeared in front of my eyes. Have I gone crazy for real now? I swear, I saw someone. I decided to stay in the nursing home and watch that tower. Whoever that was might come back later. The pocket watch had slowed down. I don't know what that means. I have no fucking idea. Entry 7. I actually fell asleep, but I was woken up by a deep humming sound. I don't know if that sound is actually there or just in my head. That humming didn't last long, but it sounded like it had a rhythm to it. Am I mad, or is this real? I need answers. I will wait until that robed figure appeared again. Entry 8. That humming sound is back, but it's louder than before. Yes, there's definitely a rhythm to it, and it slowly gets louder, like it's moving toward my direction. There's no source to it, at least none that I can see. What is that? What the hell is going on? Entry 9. Something really frightening and bizarre just happened. It's dawning. It's actually getting darker. How the fuck is that possible? It's still 12 a.m. Time hasn't moved. But still, it was dawning. I'm getting scared. I'm getting really, really scared. I can hear the humming, and this time I can make out sounds that sounds like words. Words that sound ancient. Words that shouldn't be uttered by any human. unholy words. Please, God, just make it stop. I won't do anything bad anymore. I promise. Just please save me from this nightmare. Please. 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 The humming got so loud I can hear those unholy words. That is no humming. Someone is chanting. They are calling for him. The faceless God. I have to go outside. I need to see it for myself. Entry 10. Chaos is crawling toward me. I saw it. I fucking saw it. I saw the chanting ones. Those giant hooded beings. They were about 30 feet tall. And that being they were chanting for was triple their size. The English language lacks the words to describe that being. Of pure horror I felt. Probably no known language has the needed words to describe it. And even then, the human mind couldn't possibly comprehend it. I ran and ran as far as I could. I'm hiding in an abandoned church. I can still hear them chanting in the distance. I left the pocket watch in Graham's room, where it belongs. I'm tired. Entry 11. I woke up to a light coming through a window. The dawning was gone. So was the chanting that was in the distance. I went outside and the only thing I could hear were the birds chirping. Time had came back. Everything seemed normal again. No one noticed anything happening. I survived this hell and I'm thankful I did. Yet, I envy everyone who wasn't aware of those events. Ignorance is bliss, they say. And they're right. There are things between time, older than anything you can imagine. Beings who spread horror and madness into everyone who glimpsed them. I don't know if I can recover from this mentally. If you see an ancient-looking bronze pocket watch with a moon on it, destroy it, burn it, or throw it into the ocean where no human can reach it. Some things aren't meant for us. When I close my eyes, I can still hear them chanting its name. Thank you all so much for listening to my video today. This was not on a schedule, but I think I'm just gonna post this one on some random day this week because I just feel like it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you to Coyote. I'm sorry, I butchered that name. I don't know how to say it. Thank you so much to the Reddit user who let me read this. I really, really appreciate it. It was a good story, and I can't wait to see more from them. Bye.